Good morning. Let's take a big breath in and reach it up. 3, 4, one more each side. And let's make those circles. So focusing on the movement in your upper back and shoulder girdle. Make those circles as, maybe dinner plate size on the ceiling, but make sure you're not moving your whole body to get there, that you're keeping it in that upper back shoulder area. Going the other way if you haven't switched directions already. Bring your hands down to your shoulders and reach up and up. Up. One more each side. And bring your hands back to your shoulders and we'll circle your elbows. Nice big circles, bring your elbows together in front. Ouch, don't knock them together like I just did. One more. And let's take your arms out to the side. Make a fist with your thumbs forward. Thumbs pointing forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as hard as you can and make tiny little circles. And flip it back. We haven't done this one in forever. It feels good, doesn't it? So I realized over 2 years of workouts I've written for this group over the years, over 2 years. And we're going to dive deep. We're going to go back to the beginning and focus on some basics. So if you're new to this group this month, we'll be doing some pretty fundamental basic movements to build your strength in a really functional, practical, meaningful way. And if you've been with us for a while, it's a fun chance not to say, oh, no, we're going back to basics, but to say, I wonder how much more I could do now than I could then, and how different the moves feel now than they felt then. I mean, some we've been doing all along. Some I let go, or we come back to more rarely. So it's, I think this fall, every class is going to be different. We're diving deep. Oh, I got it right this time. Let's go the other way. Nice big hula hoops. And we'll work our way through, if you can believe, 2021 and into 2022. And if we like the way it's going, we can go through 2023 all over again, although it won't be before the end of the year. Let's bring our hands down onto the knees and circle it out. And reverse direction. Let's plant the ball of your foot on the floor and circle it out. Get those snap, crackles, and pops going. And circle back. So today we need weights as usual. We could also use, I don't know if you've got a Pilates ball, switch sides. Pilates ball or a big thick pillow cushion, maybe it can be folded in half. Something so we can work our adductors, inner thigh muscles a little bit more. Let's take our legs nice and wide and we'll go side to side. Come back to center, sink it down. We'll drop one shoulder down and then the other. And one shoulder down and the other. Give your back a nice big stretch. We're going to put it together with the legs in just a moment. And side to side. Sink it down. Bring your hands onto the floor. Lift those hips up and back down. Up, down. And up. Hold it here. Walk your hands over to one side. Just get that stretch through your hip down your side. And walk it over to the other side. Come back to center. Sink back down into your squat. And we're going to hang out here for a little bit. And sink down a little bit lower if you can. Notice if your weight is pitching you forward onto your toes through your knees, and see if you can imagine there's a stool underneath you that you're trying to sit down on. And if you push forward into your stool, into your knees, you're never going to reach it. And sink down a little bit lower. Breathe. Let your ribcage expand. And bring your hands down. Straighten your legs. Hands onto your knees. And roll it up. Good. Let's, we're going to start seated. I'm going to adjust my view. We're going to start seated. We need hand weights. We're going to be working the little muscles in our back, our traps. I know you think the traps are big. There we go. So for this first one, we need light weights. 3 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. Seated bent over traps. Okay, here we go. So legs together. We're going to bend over and reach out. And what we're doing is lifting forward in a wide position. And I want you to feel the pull from this middle part of your back, right around, maybe a little bit below your bra line. That is what's lifting your arms like this. And those are the muscles we really want nice and strong to protect your shoulders. Help you do the heavy lifting. And we're doing, oh my goodness, maybe 12 to 15 of them. So if you went too heavy, drop the weight and keep going. If you feel like it's too light, hold on, because we're doing multiple sets. So let's put those weights down. We're going to come onto the floor. And we're going to grab that cushion or that ball that you have. And we're going to put it right between your knees. So we're going to set up for a bridge. As you bridge, you're going to be squeezing the ball. Hips, knees, and feet are all lined up. I'll give you a minute to get all your props. So see people stop moving. Okay, all in position. Here we go. You're going to press into your feet and squeeze your legs together as you lift up as high as you can and lower down. We're doing it slow. I know the last couple of months we've been speeding everything up. We're slowing everything down today. 3. Again, we're going for 12 to 15. 4. Check that your toes aren't lifting up off the floor as you do this. 9. And as you're doing this, think about whether or not you're lifting with your back or whether you can really push through your feet and feel the back of your legs doing all the work. 2 more. Good. And let's put the ball down to the side, hug your knees in, let your back relax against the floor. Because I think sometimes even when you're used to doing this right, your back still wants to help. Back is such a good helper. So let's take our feet down. We have a little pause between sets. And we'll go right and left, windshield wipers. 6. And then bring your knees into your chest. We'll roll it up. Grab a drink. Make sure you've got the right size weight. I'm actually going lighter. So I want to feel my muscles. I don't want to just feel my arm lifting a weight. You can muscle through those bent over traps. Powering through your arm and your shoulder without feeling your back. What I want you to do is go light enough where you don't have to power through your arms and you can feel that shoulder blade moving in towards your spine and those lower traps right around your brow line engaging to help you lift up. Okay, so we're going to set up for set 2. Bent over. I think the last set we might do standing so you can see what that feels like. Okay, arms are hanging, thumbs up, going out to the corners of the room for 12 to 15. Looks good. 9. 12. I have 3 more. Stay with the 3, 2. Your back should be getting tired. 1. Mine is hard to believe. It doesn't take much weight to get that part of the muscle. We're all super strong on the upper part of our traps. They go out towards our shoulders and then down towards our spine, the lower part of the thoracic spine. The upper part is super strong because we hold so much tension here. The bottom part of that muscle, not so much. And that's what we're targeting because we don't want to keep working through this part of our traps, the upper part that's always tense and tight. We want that lower part to pull its share. Okay, so let's come back down on the floor with the ball, with the cushion. We have round 2. Everyone's set. And if your feet are up, you're pushing through your heels, you're probably lifting with your back. If your toes are down, you're lifting with your calves. If you can push through your whole foot and feel everything underneath the arch, the metatarsals, the ball of your foot, the big toe, the little toe, and the heel, you will have a much more effective bridge. But it's hard to remember to keep those 3 parts of your feet down. 3, let's go, squeeze the ball. 4. And as soon as you lose contact with your toes and the ball of your feet, your back is going to start kicking in. Think about squeezing the glutes, working through the hamstrings. $14 and $15. Good. Bring your knees in. You can put the ball to the side. We have 1 more round of those exercises. We might finish early. Or we'll have a nice long stretch. Or we'll throw in a conditioning set. I think I was mentioning to someone last week as I was looking at these workouts and what we have been doing, that now, taking 6 moves for an hour-long class. It's like, how did we fill an hour with that? So, but we're trying. We'll see how it goes. That was so over 2 years ago. So seated, cat, cow, round your back, lengthen your back, round and lengthen, round and lengthen. Okay, set 3. I said I try these standing up. You can try them standing up or you keep them seated, depends on how strong you're feeling. You have to be in a hinge where your hips are going to hold you, and we'll come up and do Y raises that way. Or we can keep them seated. Everybody's seated, we'll keep them seated. So let your upper body weight rest on your legs, and we'll go 12 to 15. Make sure you're using your back. This is your chance to check in. Good. Bring the weights down. Hold on to your elbows underneath your legs if you can, or your arms. Just let your back round and stretch. Let your neck relax. And then gently bring yourself up. If you're doing those right, this middle part of your back should be pretty tired right now. So it will feel good. Come lay down on the floor. Okay. So ball between the knees. We're going to play with this third set a little bit. So let's go for 8 feet on the floor. Squeeze the ball. We'll lift up into a bridge. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take one leg up in the air. You're still squeezing that ball. Those inner thighs are still working really hard. We're going to go for 4 on each side. 3, 2. Your job is to keep your hips level. And switch sides. Squeeze that ball, press into the foot that's on the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Ooh. And roll around on the floor. We're going to take a minute here. I want your back to be really, 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 really rested before we move on. So let's take 1 full minute. Get up. And let's do some twisty stretches and let those muscles go that we've been working. Swing your arms. See if you can feel those back muscles that you were working. Gives them a little bit of dynamic movement. Or maybe hula hoops or TikToks. Grapevines, about 25 seconds. And we'll come into the second circuit. 2 exercises. We're doing split squats, which I'll set you up again, and 3-way hips. Are we doing it on the bench? Nope, we're doing it on the floor, and we're going to put a little weight, like that 3 pound, 2 pound, 5 pound, whatever weight you have behind your knees to hold it there. Okay, so split squats. You're going to take a nice big wide stance back. If your knees bother you when you're doing this, either front or back or both, adjust the position so you don't have knee discomfort. This is a start position. It's not the only position you can do a split squat in. If you're choosing to use weights, you are going to hold them on your shoulders, keep you more upright, so the weights don't pull you down. So you're up on your toes in the back. If you're starting with your foot here, your weight's already pulling back. I want your weight on your toes, pushing through your back foot toes and your entire front foot. So we're going to sink down and up, nice and slow, going for as big a range of motion as you can get. Good. 6. You don't need to touch the floor. My knee isn't even touching the floor. It looks like it, but it's not. Let's do 2 more this first set. So remember, we've got 3 sets of these to go. That's a lot of work. Shake it out, set up on side 2. And we'll sink it down, up, 2. Nice. Now. And 2 more. And come on up. And then we'll put the weights down. We're coming onto the floor next, hands and knees. Ooh. Do some butt kicks first. On your hands and knees, you're going to take a little weight. And you're going to tuck it in the nook right behind your knee. And you're going to have to pull your foot up to hold it there. So your leg is going to be working the whole time. We're going to bring our knee in, knee out, foot up to the ceiling, and down. Knee in, knee out, foot up to the ceiling. If you're finding it impossible to hold on to the weight, take the weight out and go for the mobility. 5. Good. Knee in, knee out, and up. From the front, it looks like this. And as you're coming up, your hip will lift a little bit because you're engaging that muscle. But we're not rocking. We're not opening up to the side. I want the front of your hips to always be pointing towards the floor. Good. 1 more. Yeah. And then we have to switch sides. Okay. So put that weight into the crack of your knee, or the crease of your knee. Knee in, knee out, leg up. In. 3. Do 3 more. So you don't have mobility without strength in your muscles. Let's just have a seat here for a second. Reach for, actually, let's bend your knees. Take your feet in, reach between your knees for your toes, and then try to straighten your legs. Doesn't matter if your legs go straight. Just get a nice hamstring stretch, back of the thigh, before we ask it to work again. So to have true mobility and not just bendy flexibility, You need to have strength in your muscles controlling the motion around the joint. Adding a little bit of weight to a traditional mobility drill isn't a bad idea. Okay, back to split squats. Round 2, find your weights. Rack them up. Let's start non-dominant foot in front first this time. Dominant foot in back. And let's sink it down. We're going for 12. Check in. If you can do this without getting dizzy. Look down and see that your knee is tracking over your second toe. At least that's not caving in or winging out. You want everything in a nice alignment. I think I have one more. My heart counts may be off, and we may be going different paces, and that's okay. You do you. Setting up for side 2, and sink it down. Nice. 3 more. 10, 11, and 12. Step it up. Weights down. Let's grab our little weight. First, do some hip circles. Check in that you're not holding tension in your back while we're doing these. It's all hips and legs. Okay. Weight in the crook of your knee. Knee in, out, and up. Flexed or pointed foot doesn't matter, as long as you're hugging that weight tight and it doesn't fall out, especially if it doesn't hurt you. These last few, make them a little more fluid into a circle. Rotate the top of your femur into that hip socket. Good. And let's switch sides. Hug that weight. Then flip it around. We'll do the first half articulated. Knee in, knee out, and up. Knee in, knee out. And then let's make them a little more fluid. Think about making a circle. I know it's not a circle, but trying to be as round as you can in the shape of the movement you're asking your hip to accommodate. Let's do one more. Good. Bring the weight down. Come into an up dog, let your hip flexors stretch. Shift side to side. And let's hop it up into an up dog. Pedal out your feet. Let your calves and hamstrings stretch. And we'll get ready to do set 3. Last round of split squats coming at you. Nothing fancy with these. You don't want to feel your knees. If you're feeling knee issues, let me know. We'll figure out the right position for you. If you can't get very deep, do what you can. Everybody has its limits. Not that everybody has limits, but everybody has its own thing that it likes to do, doesn't like to do, can do, can't do, especially once you get over 40, you start finding them all. Doesn't mean you have to stop working it. And 12. Step it together. Pedal out your feet a little bit. Get ready to go side 2. Whew. Last round. Sink it down for 12. 11. Nice. Three, 2. Last one. Good work. Say goodbye to those split squats. Grab a drink of water. Wiggle your hips out. I know my hips are feeling pretty tired. There's absolutely no need to rush between those 2 exercises. It's not for conditioning. It's for strength. You want those muscles to have time to recover. So back on the floor. Throw a little weight. Tuck behind the knee. Or maybe by set 3, you decided you don't want the weight behind your knee. That's fair. Here we go. Hug that weight in. Tuck your knee in, out, and up. Let's make these 9 as fluid as you can. Trying to keep your hips as level as you can. Eight. And 9. Switching over to side 2. Again, we're doing 9 as fluid as we can. Hug the weight behind your knee if you're using it. Out, up, around, and in. And 1 more. Bring your knee down, put the weight away to a safe spot. Let's make some big restorative hip circles. 2. 1 more this way. And then we'll go 4 the other way. All the way back, down, around, as far as you can take it. Okay. And then step 1 foot back and swing the other foot under. Slide your back leg, the straight leg down. And let's just hold pigeon for a little bit. Give your hips some love. You're not going to stay here too long. You can come down. You can come up. We'll probably come back to this at the end of the workout. Curl your toes under. And let's switch sides. Let your hips stretch. So our next set of exercises, we have more squats. That's why we're giving our hips a nice big break. We're doing weighted goblet squats. If you've been doing squats with me for a while, we don't do them very often, but if you've been working with me for a while, use as heavy a weight as you feel you can. If you're new, get used to the goblet squats. Come down. Make sure your back is feeling good. Your hips are feeling good. Hamstrings feeling good. We'll take about 30 more seconds. Come on up, shake everything out. Grab a drink of water. We're pairing our goblet squats with our better push-ups. So weights, what weights to use? In goblet squats, you're holding the weight up at your chest. It helps your body stay upright so that we're not squatting and doing this, working through your back. The weight helps your back engage a little bit more. Feet are wider than shoulders. Toes turned out a little bit. Everybody has a different squat position. Mine's wider than most. Weights up here. How much weight should you use? Start with something heavy. Your legs are strong. If it's too heavy, you can always swap it out. And let's go for 15 goblets. Should be able to get your toes up even when you're at the bottom of the movement. 3. Halfway there. And keep your shoulders down, away from your ears. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Safely put that weight down. So I'll take a moment. Let my heart rate come down before I start doing push-ups. The additive power of weights. If all you have are dumbbells, combine them. You're going to hold them with both hands. Come up with a weight that's meaningful to you. Or grab a big laundry soap jug. Or a 6-pack of something that won't break. Or an 8-pack or a 12-pack. Just hold something that's heavy enough for you to feel it and get some work out of those muscles. Okay, better push-ups. I kid you not, we are going right back to the beginning with better push-ups. Oh. So instead of going up, down, up, down, up, down, we're going down all the way to the floor without plopping. Rocking back into child's pose and setting up. You can do this from your knees. Elbows stay in by your sides. Lower yourself all the way down and then use your legs and rock yourself back. We're going for 8, anywhere from 6 to 10. If you make it to 6, I'm proud of you. If you make it to 10, you're a superstar. You're all superstars. Let's go. Down, 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 and rock it back. You build more strength in your arms, lowering yourself down like this, than you do by doing a half drop push-up. If you're just doing this, you're not getting all the arm and upper body strength you need. So find your plank, engage your chest and your back, use all those big muscles to help lower you. Squeeze those armpits into your side. Make sure all your muscles are engaged. Your arms can't do everything. Up, down, down, down. Rock it back. Oof. Last one. Down, down, down. Focus on control. Rock back into child's pose. Come on back up to standing when you're ready. We have 2 more rounds of these 2 exercises, and we can call it a day. So if you're using your dumbbells, or you have a big dumbbell, doesn't matter if you hold it like this or like this. I kind of like this better. Okay. So I have what? I have 20 pounds loaded on here now instead of my 15-pound kettlebell. The weight's distributed shoulder width apart. This is a giant weight. Okay, let's go. 15 squats. Your legs might be really feeling it, and your hips too. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Sometimes I front load all the leg and hip exercises. They're big muscles. You can go really heavy. You can push yourself. Sometimes it's interesting to put them at the back of the workout and see how much work you can get out of them when you're getting a little tired. Okay, set up for plank. If you hold your arms out in front of you, your shoulders aren't here. I want you to pull them down. You can relax them. Just make sure the tension's out of your neck. Pull your armpits. You might see your hands rotate a little bit. That's okay. Your armpits hugging into your sides. When you do that, you feel your back muscles and your chest muscles engaging. That's where we want to be. That's what's giving support to your arms. So if you're saying, I can't do push-ups because my arms are too weak, get those bigger muscles to help you. Let's see if we can do that. I'll do the first bunch from my knees. So hug your armpits in. Your hands are going to feel like they're screwing into the floor a little bit. They want to rotate. Keep them there. Keep that tension there. Lower, lower, lower. And then push back into child's pose. And then reset. Lower, lower, lower. Your glutes are turned on. Your abs are turned on. This is a whole body exercise. And go back to full plank. Everything is engaged. You're as solid as a block of wood. There's no spaghetti. None of this stuff happening. I'm going straight, 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 straight down. Good. One more. Because I was talking so much, you can have a longer rest if you're done. Now, that was a drop. I am done. Now, one more set. Won't take too long. Give yourself a little rest here. You notice everything we've been doing has engaged your back. Whether it's holding a weight, supporting a weight, focusing on your back muscles working. If you just wiggle side to side, I think you'll feel everything in here engaging or engaged or tired. In particular, the muscles that are right here are the ones that we use for our push-ups. And they're super important for shoulder stability, super important for overall strength. It's called the serratus. Okay. Nobody ever talks about it because it's not a pretty muscle that anyone ever trained for bodybuilding. Here we go. Last set of goblet squats. Feet wide. You're sitting back onto a bench. I'm actually not touching my bench. I'm not even close to it, even though it looks like it. Take it as low as you can. Push through your heels and lift yourself up. Good. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's put that weight away. We won't need it again. Swing out your arms, catch your breath. You betcha. You start working those really big muscles. It's a demand on your heart. It's a different kind of conditioning. It's not like going out for a run, but we're getting fit. Fit or fittest. Take out your wrists. Maybe make some circles. Let's be nice though, and we have one more set on our hands. Making some waves. And the other way. Nice. Check your grip. You still have it. Roll your shoulders. Hunch up your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then push them down. Good. Okay, last round of push-ups. Here we go. From your knees, from your toes. If you got 4 good ones and then you fall apart, embrace those 4 good ones. We're going to keep coming back to these. If you got 6 good ones, cheers. If you can do 8, this is our last round. Give me what you got. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can, show me. Here we go. One more. Stay with me. And your last one, we're going to come into child's pose and hold. So knees wide, let your belly drop between and reach forward. Let your head come to the floor. Let your back stretch. Imagine it's becoming longer. And switch. Take one hand over to one side if you're not looking up. I used the wrong word. Now we're taking both arms over to one side. Breathe into the side of your back that's getting the nice stretch here. Make sure your rib cage is relaxed and expanding. Take your hands over to the other side. And we'll take several deep breaths here. Let your body absorb all the work it just did. Maybe this is like the Marie Kondo of workouts. You kind of take things down to their essence. Let's do cat-cow. Slowly moving through your spine and your hips. You don't need to do a million different exercises during your workout. Sometimes it's just the few chosen exercises executed very well. That makes the difference. Come back to a neutral spine and let's articulate. So let's just work the tailbone. So you shouldn't see much of your back moving other than that pelvis. Mid back is going to move a little bit just because it's attached. And then come back to neutral. And let's protract, retract through the shoulders. Make sure you've got the movement in your upper back. And then let's lift and focus on what that middle back is doing. Small movement. Up into half kneeling from our hands and knees. Pivot a little bit more. So you're on your toes in the back. You're going to squeeze up butt cheek and press forward. You're not going to go very far. I want your back to stay neutral. So we're not doing a big Nancy Archie stretch. We're doing nice controlled. Let's get this stretched out. And we'll hold about 10 more seconds. And then relax your toe down, top of your foot down to the floor. And we're going to stretch that front leg straight. Sit back as far as you can. You may get to here, you may get to here. A few of you may get all the way down. If you can relax there. And we're going to reach for the toes in front. And we're just going to hold this. You may need to come out of it. I need to come out of it. That was too intense. Wherever you are, you can prop yourself up, give yourself support. Let that front leg, hamstrings get a nice big stretch. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, bend that knee. We're going to take it out to the side and glide. We're going to stretch the adductors that we worked at the very beginning of the workout. They work with everything we're doing. That was just focusing on them. Let's give them a little love. 9. And check in with your back again. So if your right leg is down, your right hand is going to come down, or vice versa. I'm going to reach up to the ceiling and thread the needle. Okay, a lot of pops doing this. 3. 1 more. And then let's bring that knee down safely. Come into side 2. Hip flexor stretch. Okay, knees, toes all in alignment. Squeeze that butt. Press that hip forward. If it feels good, you can lift up and over, or you can just hang out here. This is totally, totally your choice. And then let's slide that front leg straight as you sink down towards your heel. If you can hold on to your toes or your shin, great. If you can come all the way down, you can try it. Ooh. Let's see how long I can hold it on this side. The other side got really intense. There we go. You don't have to be on your heel. That's not a goal. The goal for now is just to get the stretch. When it comes to flexibility, some people are flexible, some people are not. When it comes to mobility, it's not the same thing. Oops, we're coming back up, we're taking the leg out to the side. So flexibility refers to how much laxness you have around a joint, which enables you to move more. Mobility kind of gets it more how much control you have around that movement around the joint. So just because you're flexible doesn't mean that you have strength around that joint. Let's bring that arm down, up, reach it through. And oftentimes you need muscle and strength to be able to control that movement and keep you safe. Let's do one more. Good. Okay, let's finish down on the floor. Why not? We worked our hips pretty good. Let's give you an example. Shoulder mobility. Tabletop windshield wipers. You take both knees down to one side. It takes strength to get that movement and keep that shoulder down on the floor. This is your rotational, upper body rotational ability. How stable are your shoulders? Let's bring both feet down. Let's take your left ankle over your right knee. We're going to reach behind the right thigh and pull it up. We're going to reach the front of your left thigh and push away. So a little push-pull action. Notice if your body's trying to twist to get into this. Keep your spine and your back as straight as you can. It's okay if you can't go very far. But you can try wiggling your hips, seeing if you can loosen up where all those tight joints are. And they're supposed to be tight joints around your sacrum and your pelvis. Good. And come down. Let's slide that knee over your hips. Slide one knee over the other knee. And let's do a twist in the direction your foot's going. If left is on top, you're twisting a little bit to the right. And then bringing it back to center, put your right foot down. We're back to left ankle on knee. And let's just butterfly. Let's see how far you can move with muscle control. So we're not pushing with your hands to assist it. This is unassisted stretching. And keeping your knee away from your body. Let's twist down. And come on up and we'll switch sides. So right ankle over your left knee. Notice if your whole body wants to rotate one way or the other as you're doing this, and try to keep everything lined up straight. Pull behind your left thigh, push against your right thigh. Push, pull. Shift your weight a little bit, see if you can get things to open up and release. Let's bring left foot down, butterfly the knee. We're almost done. And then come all the way down to the side. Front of your hip open, let the IT band open. And then let's come back up, cross knee over knee, hug them both in, and twist down a little bit to the left, going for a deeper stretch in your right hip. And let's do a couple of scorpion stretches real quick. Do I have enough room to do this? Hands are at your shoulders. You're going to prop yourself up just a little bit so that you can reach. Come down nice and slow, over and reach. One more time. Over and reach. And over and reach. Let's rock back onto your heels. Child's pose. Imagine you're inflating your back all the way up to the corners of the room. Expand that rib cage. Exhale and release all the tension. And there you have it. We are all done. Take your time getting up. You're on your own floors. No need to clear a studio. We'll see you when I get back from break on the 19th.